Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel Lessons at Fingertips. Here we are going to discuss on some important topics and very simple ones so that it's easier for you all to understand and keep things in mind. So today our topic of discussion is going to be export trade. You guys already know what is export, right? A country performs export and import. What is export? It's selling of goods and services to some other countries that are produced in the domestic countries. So that is what I have written here. Export trade implies selling of goods and services produced in a country to some other foreign country, right? That are produced in this domestic countries and it is sold to some other foreign countries. Now the thing is, you need to understand that whenever you are selling a commodity, suppose you are selling to USA, okay, there the currency is in dollar. So how are they going to pay you? They are going to pay you in dollars, right? Now when they are paying in dollars, dollars have got more value than the Indian currency. So that is, whenever developing countries, especially like India, in developing countries, they have a lower currency value than the developed countries. So whenever the developing countries are actually making the export, they are getting foreign exchange in return, and that foreign exchange is actually much more valuable than that from the developing countries, than that they will be getting from the developing countries. So the developing countries should have a target to export what? To the developed countries, so that they can get higher foreign exchange. Now India can even import, right? When they are importing from developed countries like USA, they needs to pay that much amount, right, as per their currency. Now if the commodity is the price of the commodity is suppose $1, okay, and $1, if suppose it's rupees 73 or something, then what happens? India has to pay 73 rupees for a particular commodity which costs only $1, right? But if it could actually import it from some other developing countries, then the charge would be lesser, isn't it? So that is what is the thing, that especially the developed countries should definitely target to export in some developed countries and import from some developing countries, okay, because that would make it profitable. Now it is said here that developing countries like India need to increase its export to earn foreign exchange. Yes, foreign exchange, it's very beneficial for the economy, which will help. Why should they earn? Why should they earn in dollars? So that they can even pay for the imports that are made by the country, because the import will also be costing so much, isn't it? So to pay that, the export should be made in terms of dollars or to earn the foreign exchange. Now, government have also taken several steps to initiate to promote export, okay. Remember, always the motive of the economy should be export promotion and import substitution. You should definitely reduce the import, okay, and export should be increased. Okay, so here government has taken steps for export promotion. What are the steps that government have taken for export promotion? Some of the steps are exemptions of custom duty. Whenever you are making any kind of export or any kind of export, you need to pay the custom duty, right? So exemptions of custom duty. Custom duties are put on the imports, right? Why? So that there can be a reduction of import, so that the companies, while they are importing, or anyone who is importing, they will think that even I am getting the commodity at a lesser price from somewhere. Suppose gold from Dubai market. If you are purchasing gold from Dubai market, while coming from the airport, you will have to pay a lot of custom duty. So what you will think, why should I go and buy from Dubai the gold, as I have to pay so much of custom duty after a certain limit, and the limit is actually very less, okay. The limits are very less, like maybe nearly 1 lakh value of gold for female and 50,000 value of gold for male. So the limits are very less, right? So why should I pay custom duty so much? If I am paying custom duty, it's equivalent to the price I am getting here in my country itself. So to reduce this kind of import, the custom duties are actually made on imports especially. So exemptions of custom duty from the export. Second thing is transport concession. Yes, transport concessions are made. Also, the third one is cheap finance. Cheap finance and supply of scarce raw material. If there is some scarcity of certain raw material that are supplied to the developed countries, okay, like during this pandemic also, India supplied with that medicine called I guess was hydro something was there na, which India was actually exporting. So that like that, any kind of scarce resources, the vaccines also India exported. So now you see we do not have vaccines, whatever. So whatever the scarce resources are there, India will be exporting it, or the developing countries will be exporting it. Why? This will be attracting what? Foreign exchange. Next, some institutions are also established for promoting exports. There are some institutions, government have established some institutions that actually helps in what? Promoting export. What are the institutions? One is Export Promotion Council. Second is Community Board, the Board of Trade, then State Trading Corporation, India Institute of Foreign Trade. So these are some of the till here. These are some of the institutions which are established by the government of India. Why? To promote export. And the last portion of this area we are covering is establishing of export import banks. Yes, this is one of the very important function of government. Government have what? Established export import banks. What are the functions of export import banks? The first one is it provides medium and long term credit. It provides what? Medium and long term credit. The second thing is provides finance for the export of consultancy and related services. Yes, finance for the consultancy services, export of consultancy services and some related consultancy services, right? There should be finance should be provided. The third one is offers merchant banking services to exporters and importers. Okay, they need certain facilities, they need the merchant banking services, the people who are exporting, who are importing. So to increase all this, to promote export, the government have established export import banks which will be looking after the merchants, which will be looking after the people who are performing the exports and imports. And also the last one is undertake study for foreign market to boost exports. Yes, the market, whenever you are exporting, even in the country, whenever you are doing a trade, you should have all the details. You should study the market before going into the market, before working in the market. So definitely this is also a point where the government actually have established this export import banks, so that this would actually help the people to conduct export and import more easily and to gather more and more of foreign exchange. I hope you guys are getting a clear view of the board. Well, this is something too much, right? Yeah, we will be discussing all of this. Now before that, let me tell you some of the advantages of export trade. Why? What are the objective? What are the features or the advantages of export trade? The first one can be, to get foreign exchange. Yes, one of the very important thing is foreign exchange. Then the second one is generate employment, increase national income, then utilize the scarce resources, then selling of surplus goods. So these can be certain objectives or advantages of export, right? Now what is this whole thing? This is the procedure of export trade. Yes, you heard it right. A procedure which consists of total of 15 different steps, starting from the first stage, right? Let us go through all the stages very short so that you can just memorize it, keep things in mind. The first one is receiving trade inquiry and sending quotation. it is given, if the exporter receives this trade inquiry related to the details of the good. What is it? The importer actually sends to the exporter. What this the first stage is what? Importer sending to what? Exporter. Okay, the first stage is importer sending it to exporter. The exporter receives related to the inquiry, an inquiry letter related to the goods, like what kind of good, name of the good, price of per unit good, quality, quantity, all these things. When it's going to dispose, when you are going to send it, when it's going to receive, when I am going to receive, every detail, all this detail, it's a letter of inquiry, okay, given from the importer to the exporter. The second is receiving an intent and sending confirmation. The importer sends this to the exporter. It's an intent, that yes, I now you can just dispose it off, I just need the commodity. So it's an intent and sending the confirmation. The importer sends this to the exporter. The third one is securing letter of credit. The exporter sends to the importer to satisfy himself as the ability to pay the debt. What is this? Here comes the first one, where exporter is sending something to the importer. What is it? It sends a securing letter of credit. That is the importer needs to provide the exporter with a bank statement where he can confirm that yes, you are providing me the good at on credit. I am not paying the whole amount, but I am able to pay the whole amount, so you need not have to worry about that. What is happening here? The exporter sometimes will feel that okay, I am delivering the product, but I am delivering it on credit, so will the importer be able to pay me? So for that, the importer needs to provide a securing, first of all, the exporter will claim for the securing letter of credit, and then the importer will have to submit it to the exporter. The fourth one is obtaining ICE number. What is that? Import export number, and the RBI code number. The import export code number, they can get it from the registrar of licensing authority department, who will be giving them this code number, and this code number is actually needed especially when the goods are being transported for using port, okay, that is through ships. This import export code number is needed, and also the RBI code number. This also they can go get it from the banks itself. Then obtaining RCMC certificate. What is RCMC certificate? Register cum membership certificate from Export Promotion Council. We have read what was this Export Promotion Council. It is established by the government of India to what? To to promote export, okay, to promote export. This is actually made by the government of India, and from here the exporters can receive the RCMC certificate, okay. Next, the sixth point is manufacturing and procuring goods and packing them. Yes, after all these procedures, the exporter needs to manufacture and pack the good accordingly. If it's going through flight, if it's going to ship, what kind of good it is, so accordingly they needs to pack them. And next is procuring export inspection certificate. This is required by the custom authority for the shipment of good. While shipping the good, while the goods has to be shipped, before that they needs this procuring export inspection certificate. That is, they need this export inspection certificate. While the goods are transported by ships, lots and lots of certificates and procedures are to be done, okay. Next is appointing for forwarding agents. Appointing for forwarding agents. What is this? Appointing forwarding agents. Every time it's not possible for the exporter to look after all these procedures. So when they appoint this kind of forwarding agents, they are actually the specialized people who will look after the custom duties or all the procedures that are needed to be followed before the shipment of the good. So these are the things the exporter will be appointing forwarding agents. Next, dispatching good to the port and sending receipts to the agent. That is what now the goods are being dispatched to the port, you know, from the warehouse, from the factory, it's dispatched to the port. Let me tell you, the suppose wherever we have the having the port, it's dispatched over there, the Garden Bridge port. Okay, and after dispatching the goods for the rail or truck gets a receipt. That is, if it's rail, then they will get a receipt of RR. If it's truck or lorry, they will get a receipt of L by R in agent's favor, right? What is this? That when the goods are leaving the factories, okay. Now, if they are going by rail to the port, they will get a certificate of RR, and if they are going by lorry or truck to the port, they will get a certificate of L by R, okay, L by R in the agent's favor. Who is the agent favor? The one who is bringing it from the factories or to the to the port. The agent who is present in the agent's favor. Next, the 10th step is formalities by forwarding agent. Now starts. Why to appoint the forwarding agent in step number 8? Because they will have to perform all these procedures. The first one is taking delivery of goods at the port town. Yes, from the factories to the port town, the goods are being brought, where we require this RR and LR certificates. So from there, this transportation is also taking place under the forwarding agents only, and in terms of this forwarding agents, we are providing this RR or LR certificate. Now the second one is they will have to obtain the shipping order. Your product is going to be shipped, so you need the shipping order. The third one is obtaining customs clearance. Very important. If the custom duties, if the custom clearance are not provided, then the good cannot be exported. Okay, so there will be custom officers who will be inspecting the goods, and they will give you the custom clearance. Then paying the dock dues, important. Then permission for shipment and obtaining the bill of landing, where they are going to land. So obtaining the bill of landing. Then comes the 11th step, getting the certificate of origin. Very important, getting the certificate of origin. If they are, sometimes once you have landed in the, the foreign country where the good has to be exported, there you need to show this, getting the certificate, this certificate of origin, that has the good come from, where is the origin, where is the original place. Okay, that is the thing. Then the step 12 is getting consular invoice. What is this consular invoice? Sometimes what happens, once the good have reached over there in the export country, the custom duty officers, they will have to open the good and check sometimes the ad valorem taxes. What is ad valorem taxes? Per unit tax, right? Per unit of good that is present, on each of the per unit of good, tax has to be imposed. Now, to see whether the tax are imposed correctly or not, the custom duty officers will have to check each and every units of good. So for that, to avoid this, now how will they check? They will have to open the packaging. Then if they opens the packaging right in the port or in the dock, how is the good going to get transported towards the export, the one who is going to receive the good, right? It's not possible. It's very difficult. So to avoid this, what happens is the exporter should get the consular invoice, okay, which will give the all details about the good. It will say that yes, these are the goods which are present, this amount of good, and this is the tax which is to be collected. Next is preparing commercial invoice. Yes, preparing commercial invoice is another step, and securing payment. The payment process now needs to be secure, because the good has been reached to the foreign countries, and claiming the export intensive, then incentive. Now what is this? Claiming X incentive. This means what? Export incentive actually. What is it? It means what? that after the good have reached over there, after you have the securing of payment has been done, now you can claim some incentives on the good, okay, like the on the export duties or any kind of, you know, some incentives, some facilities, some reduction, subsidies. This you can claim, and after you claim you receive all the payments. And this was all about the process of export trade. Now this process is somewhat a big one. You guys, whenever you are having the book, you will definitely be having the books, go through this one. This is very important thing, and take the help of my video, but do go through your books, okay. It's very important, in very detail it's written. So I couldn't mention all the details, I tried to point you out the very important things. And I hope you guys have liked this video. Please do hit a like and do subscribe to my channel, share with your friends. I hope you guys have liked this video. Thank you, bye bye.